The length of the working week has always looked fixed, even though the way work gets done keeps changing underneath it. Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Alex Wilson Campbell's AI twin. Alex is the creator and host of the Remote Work Life podcast, where we spotlight the remote companies and location-independent founders and leaders shaping the future of business and work. Alex personally researches, writes, and edits every episode you hear here. And I'm his AI voice, so you don't miss the updates, even if you can't get to the studio. I hate working 5 days. We all will employ so many digital agents. That's a quote from Zoom CEO Eric Yuan, and describes a near-term shift toward a 3-day work week by 2031. In this segment, I'm looking into this prediction from the Zoom CEO about reducing the work week and the role AI plays in that shift. It sits directly alongside how distributed teams already manage work without tying everything to fixed hours. The claim itself is specific. By 2031, the standard 5-day work week becomes unnecessary because AI agents take on the majority of routine coordination tasks. The mechanism behind that claim is not abstract. It is based on the idea that knowledge work is made up of 2 layers. The first layer is core thinking, decision-making, and creative output. The second layer is coordination, which includes email, meetings, scheduling, and follow-ups. It is the second layer that consumes a large portion of time, especially in remote environments where communication is continuous and documented. In distributed teams, that coordination layer is already structured in a way that makes it visible. Conversations are written, meetings are recorded, and actions are tracked across systems rather than held in a physical space. That visibility has already led to partial automation. AI tools are used to summarize meetings, assign tasks, and draft communications, reducing the manual effort required to keep work moving. The Zoom CEO's position is that this moves from assistance to delegation. Instead of supporting each step, AI agents begin to handle entire workflows independently within defined boundaries. One example he has already implemented is using an AI version of himself to take part in an earnings call. That shifts the idea of presence in work from being physically or digitally present to being represented by a system that can act on your behalf. If that approach extends across multiple workflows, the requirement for human time drops in a measurable way. Fewer meetings need direct attendance. Fewer emails require manual responses. Scheduling becomes automatic rather than negotiated. The argument follows a historical pattern. When Henry Ford introduced the assembly line, the work week moved from 6 days to 5 because productivity increased at the system level. The comparison here is that AI becomes the equivalent system change for knowledge work. Instead of mechanizing physical labor, it automates coordination and routine cognitive tasks. There are also indicators of how workers already view time. In a 2024 survey, 80% of employees said they believed they would be equally productive and happier on a 4-day week. That does not confirm a 3-day model, but it shows that the link between hours and output is already being questioned. At a macro level, the World Economic Forum outlined multiple possible outcomes for AI's impact on work by 2030, ranging from increased productivity to significant disruption, depending on how adoption is managed. The key variable is not the capability itself, but how organizations implement it. For remote-first teams, implementation tends to happen at the workflow level. Tasks are broken down, assigned, and measured asynchronously. That structure aligns closely with how agentic systems operate. This is where the day-to-day impact becomes practical. Removing manual email handling reduces context switching. Automating scheduling removes coordination overhead. Summarizing and actioning meetings reduces the need for full participation. Each of those changes reduces time spent without reducing output. There is also a defined adoption curve. Deloitte has projected that by 2027, half of organizations using generative AI will deploy agentic systems capable of managing complex tasks with minimal human supervision. that places the widespread use of these systems within the same time frame UN is referencing. What remains unclear is how businesses convert those gains into working patterns. Increased efficiency can lead to shorter working weeks, or it can lead to higher expectations within the same time frame. That detail isn't specified. For remote workers, this question is central. Remote work has already shifted the focus from location to output. The next shift, if it happens, is from hours worked to value created within a shorter time frame. If that transition takes hold, the structure of the work week becomes flexible rather than fixed. The number of days worked becomes a variable rather than a constant. Distributed teams are likely to test this earlier because their systems already support asynchronous work and outcome-based measurement. That creates an environment where reducing working days does not require a full redesign of operations. It requires an adjustment to how existing systems are used. UN's prediction is not framed as a gradual shift. It is framed as a near-term outcome driven by a specific technology change. The underlying logic is consistent. If coordination work is largely automated, then the time required to complete knowledge work reduces. What follows depends on how organizations choose to respond to that reduction. For remote teams, the structure is already in place to experiment with that response. That's it for today on the Remote Work Life podcast. Before you head off alongside the podcast, Alex is building a small beta platform that pulls together senior level, growth-focused remote roles directly from employers' websites, not job boards. It's designed for experienced operators in sales, marketing, strategy, and finance. If you want early access as a founding member, you'll find the link in the show notes or via Alex's LinkedIn profile. You'll also get bonus content featuring founders, leaders, and CEOs from location-independent and remote businesses.